Hi, my beautiful stars. I'm Ella. How are you? I hope you're doing good. And so today we're looking into your mother wound. Let's see what is going on there and how can you heal from it. We have three options. Please go ahead and pick one card. Take your time if you need to pause the video, then go ahead and pause for you to choose better. And then, if you're ready, let's start. So, my group one, welcome. And let's see. First of all, let's understand what is the energy of your relationship of you and your mother. From what I understand here, it's very, very based on appearances. It's like where I do believe it's this behavior might be even unconscious, but it's like I will act like people expect me to act, like I will fulfill this son or daughter rule, just like your mother also acts like a mother right now. And I do believe that you're already an adult here. That's the vibe that I'm getting. So it's a relationship that it's way more based on faking it and showing people that no, you do have a relationship. Maybe this is even your mother trying to show other people um, that no, you got a relationship with each other and it's a healthy relationship. But it, to be really fair, it is not. And that's why you're here, right? You have a mother wound. So, but that's what I see. The relationship in itself right now is in this state of pretending to be something that is not, even if it's unconscious. Maybe this could be happening because you haven't even stopped to think very well about this. Like, wait, let's see how my mother behaves with me right now, because she might be behaving way better than she did in your childhood, but maybe there's a motive behind it, you know? And some people don't even notice it. Some people, because they think, oh, the relationship got better, then it's okay, like, but maybe it is not. Maybe she just understands that right now she can't literally control you, so she can just talk to you as however she wished. And so she maybe tries to talk to you in a more kind way or calm way right now, because she understands that that's the only way to keep this relationship. But it's giving like fake relationship. It's giving like there are no genuine feelings, especially from her. And she might not even notice this. It might be really unconscious, but she might be really focused on herself. And because of all of that, she ends up acting kindly to you because she will gain something from it. Either is your company, either is your support, either is even for the future. Maybe she's scared that she would be alone one day or lonely or need someone, and she knows she will only be able to count on you. And so she will treat you right now. So when it comes a time where she needs your help, you will help her. it, do you understand this kind of, there's like a pattern here of behavior, but it is not healthy and it is not genuine. So she might probably also wants you to act um in a certain way in front of others, or she might want to tell other people that you guys have such a great relationship and that you love her so much and you are very close with each other. But that's not accurately the truth. So now, let's see, what kind of mother did you have? This is more like in your childhood, like what kind of mother did you perceive? What was more important to you, or more shocking, or more relevant? From what I see here, you saw this mother that was constantly comparing you with, it might be a sibling, it might be a cousin, or it might be other people's children. The thing is, she probably blamed you for being lazy or not doing as great as the other kids, for not being as great as the other kids, for not doing what they were doing. She expected you to be more or to be more like others. Because the thing is, this really matches the energy we saw before. Because if she's the type of person that wants to appear to be something that is not, like she wants to make people believe that the relationship that you two have, that she has a great family and she has a perfect daughter or son, and and so that's why I see here that what really impacted you when you were a kid was how she compared you to someone else, to what they had, how they were, what they do. This really had an impact on you. And you also might have perceived her as someone that was very, very materialistic. And I'm not only talking about money, but appearances are a kind of like material side of people. It's like keep the appearances, pretend that we have a lot. Even even like beauty and your physical appearance is a material side of life. And so she might have pointed that out a lot in a negative way, especially comparing you to other people. I also forgot to mention, but in this like relationship, the thing is, the feeling that I'm having from her is that it's not only about appearances, it's like she has this authority figure energy, especially when it's on you. And maybe that's why you allow yourself to play this role of this daughter that is very close to their mother, or maybe you play along with whatever she tells other people. Or imagine she tries to force you to go do this and go do that and meet this person and be with that person. Like she might try to force you to do these things, and you actually kind of like accept it even if you don't like it, because that's what you've been doing your childhood, and you don't know how to act a different way. And so it's important that you bring this to a conscious level, understand this is happening, and understand that even if your inner child feels a bit dominated in a way, or very vulnerable to this person, or that would immediately respond to their demands, you also understand that you're an adult now and you can make your own decisions, and you can say no to this person just like you can say no to any other person. It's it's about your choices now. It's about what you like to do and what you don't like to do. Your mother might have really high expectations about you, or expect you to do things, and these things are probably not even aligned with who you are and what you want to do. And so I do see there is some conflict here. Maybe you should try to give that inner voice a bit more attention, and maybe respect it. Just because your mother expects something of you doesn't mean that you have to do it if you don't feel comfortable, or if you don't want to, if you don't like. And you don't have to have a reason for it. Feeling like you don't want to do it is reason enough. And so now let's understand, how does your inner child feel around your mother? Look, what I see here is, first of all, this is a really karmic relationship. There's lots of projection, either both ways. So it's like your mother with you and you with your mother. You got to understand that. I'm not saying that you two are equals. I'm not saying that you two are the same person, or that you have the same traits that her. Projection is way more about this person showing that this person showing you that you have a limiting belief about yourself that is not aligned with who you truly are, and they will show this by trigger some negative feelings on you. And that's how you know there's something to heal there. I see that this relationship is really very tense in a way. Like your inner child feels like it is constantly fighting against this person. Maybe it's constantly fighting not only against your mother, but maybe against, it's like it's a fight between many different sides of you. So there's a side of you that doesn't want to do something that your mother asked to do, or kind of like demanded. There's a side of you that it's used to obeying your mother, so it is has this tendency of following her orders, there's another side of you that is more rebel in a way. So it's like, no, why would I do that? There's that's what I see. Your inner child feels very, very conflicted when regarding your mother and the relationship you have with her. I also see here that your inner child might feel very oppressed by your mother or in your mother's presence most of the time. Like it's like your inner child doesn't feel safe enough to express themselves completely, and there's no safe space for you to do such thing. You can't be yourself, you can't shine. I do believe that this mother, even she's the kind of person that doesn't want you to shine if she's not shining. Or if you're shining, she will tell everyone else, or she will try to say it in a subtle way, that it's because of her. It's because she made you this way. She educated you, or that you you took after her, or something like that. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. And so, how does this whole mother wound affect your life right now? From what I understand here is, first of all, you're still being controlled by her orders or her expectations, what she wants you to do and who she wants you to be. So you're very conditioned in that way. Like you're allowing yourself to play into the role that she created for you. But you have to understand that this life is about you, it's not about her. So it's not that you are the role or you are a side character in her life. It's that she is a side character in your life because you are the main character here right now. And so it's up to you to make your own choices. You control yourself, you control your life. It's not her controlling you. So there might be some guilt or pain or hurt here related to your mother right now. You might not even be noticing because I believe that this is a consequence of this whole wound that is being materialized in your life in a different way. This might be really, really affecting your self value, self worth, and consequently your career and finance life. So, what happens here is your self worth is correlated to how much you're going to gain. It's like, how worthy do you believe you are of gaining in terms of money and the material world. And so what happens here is you might have difficulty in your career or finances, even though you really, really want to succeed and be this very independent person. And you might believe that maybe if you have this money and this career and you exceed in this, maybe you finally are in control of yourself. But understand that this wound is way more emotional than material, and no material aspect will solve it. So if you want to take control of your own life, it's about you creating boundaries for yourself, and also create a structure for yourself. Understand that the way that your mother treated you does not mean that you're not worthy. She was simply projecting herself on you. It was never about you, like literally. And if you felt like it really hurts, that's because you have a limiting belief about yourself that kind of like agrees with what she said to you. It doesn't mean that it's true. So you gotta find this limiting belief, and you gotta understand how ridiculous it is because it makes no sense. You're more than self worthy. You have so much value, and just because you exist, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to reach anything. You don't have to succeed in something to be worthy or to be valuable. You don't have to have something materialistic speaking to be valuable. Once you understand this, that your true value is not on the material side of life, including your physical body and your physical appearance. That's when you get to work on this healing. You understand that your value comes it's way deeper. Things are not this superficial. It can be, it will never be. You have to understand how amazing you truly are inside. Value more who you are and who you can become. It's about you creating your own structure, who you are. Like, who are you? Who do you want to be? And work for that. Work for yourself. Do things for yourself and not for others. And what if you don't reach others' expectations? These people will, this your mother will get really mad. Maybe she could be disappointed. She could be frustrated even because the thing is, not reaching her expectations, what it feels like to her is she's out of control over you. Like she can't control you. And she has this tendency of wanting that everything and everyone around her and her story to go a certain way, the way that she wants it to go. She is probably forgetting the fact that you cannot control other people and other people will act the way they want to. And so she gets frustrated or mad or disappointed because she even considers this a bit strange. Maybe she's used to people playing these roles on her life, and now she sees you like flying away or moving in a different way that she was not expecting. And she's like, what are you doing? Why are you not playing the role that I chose for you? That's this first impact on her. That's why she acts a bit disorientated in a way. And she might try to blame you or get angry at you, but you don't have to agree with her and you don't have to go along with her story. You have your own story to take care of. Now, the obstacle for this healing to happen that I see here is maybe you still trying to put up with her story. You maybe if it's unconscious, keeping like playing your role on her in her life, and this is stressing you out so much because she is very self-centered, and your life is about you, but you're putting your life almost like it's about her in a way. When you keep playing into what she wants you to play, one, she's showing that she has control over you, that she is deciding who you are, who you're gonna be, what you choose to do. You can't give her all this power. This is yours. And if this is stressing you out, because what happens here is once you started to act a different way, that's why this is the obstacle for the healing. You will notice that in the beginning, there will be much resistance from her. She will be angry or mad or frustrated or disappointed on you, and she will make that very clear. She might even try to force you to act a certain way, to be a certain person, to do certain things in different ways. What I mean by this is, instead, okay, imagine she wants you to meet with some family member that you don't want to meet because it makes no sense for you. Either you don't like them or you don't like to be in their presence, or you haven't been with them and for you it makes no sense. That's enough for you to not go meet them. But she really wants you to meet them. And if you say no, I don't want to, she might try to somehow create a meeting that might seem like unexpected, like, oh, we're not expecting this, oh my god, how are you? But it was planned. Or she might literally, imagine, she might invite you to her house, and when you get there, this family member will be there. So it's like she's forcing you to do this. And you might get really stressed over all of this. So it is very, very important that you make it very clear that you don't want to do something, you don't want to be someone that you're not. Even if in the beginning it might be a bit exhausting because she's really resistant to the idea of you changing, you need to focus on yourself. You need to focus, why are you doing this? It's for yourself. It's to protect yourself, to change yourself, to have a better life and a healthy relationship. Because I'm sorry, but control is not love. When someone is trying to make you be someone that you're not, or do things that make no sense for you, they are not loving you. They don't love you. They just want to control you. They like to control you. They like that you play this puppet role in their lives. You see? So be strong here, okay? And if you need to take a break from her, take a break from her. You gotta listen to your own body and mind. If this is making you even physically sick or feel some kind of pain like a headache or something like that, that's another sign that you need to put some boundaries, limits, and create some space between you two. Now, how can you heal from this? First of all, I've already told you most of the things that you should do, but it's very, very important that you take some time to be yourself, to stay in your own bubble instead of doing things for her and acting the way she wants to. It's about you connecting with your true self, you knowing who you truly are, and what you truly want for your life, and what you can accept and what it is not acceptable to you. And so when you need to say no, you say no. When you can say yes and for you it's okay, then okay, you can say yes. But you really got to be honest with yourself here because you're putting yourself in the line, your own health, your own life, your own success, even. It is really important for you to also mature in this way and be the black sheep of your life, just of your family. Just accept that you are the black sheep and there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, I'm telling you, usually the people that succeed are the black sheeps. The most genius people that stepped on this earth were kind of like the black sheeps. We're called crazy, but that's okay though. That's okay because it don't matter the other people opinions. If you're feeling good with yourself and you're having the life that you wanted, that's what's important. And so there's this need of rebelling um, against your mother in a way, not necessarily creating conflict, but being like, I'm not this person that you think I am, and I will not play into this role ever again because I don't want to. It's not healthy for me. It makes no sense for me. And so you go and you do you. That's how you'll be able to heal from this. And so what's the lesson to learn from this person and this wand? You need to understand that you can change your life completely. You need to understand that the power to change your life is in your hands. The control of your life is in your hands. And there are other options. Are other possibilities. There are other many, many ways and paths that you could go on instead of staying stuck in this place where it's simply hurting you and not giving you the possibility to express your full potential and get whatever you desire in life. So just allow yourself to go a different way, a different path, to be a different person, to be your true self, to be authentic. Even if people around you do not approve that, they don't need that. They don't need to approve anything. The only person that needs to approve is you to yourself. If you approve it, you do it. And so the final advice is exactly this. Take the first step towards this new version of yourself, create the boundaries and say no. Learn to say no. It is very important. So say no for the things that you don't want and for the things that you don't like and for the things that you won't do. And it is also very important that you love yourself fully, take care of yourself. And loving yourself, putting on limits and boundaries is already loving yourself because it's saying, I respect myself too much to play along with this that is hurting me. I love myself too much to allow myself to give you the power to decide who I am and what I can do, what I cannot do, you know? So that's the final advice we have here. Please go on this new journey. Do do you, like work for yourself. Live your life for yourself and love yourself. And love others as well. Like spread love if you can. But you need to be in this vibration of initiation and also of love. So it is not coming from anger or frustration or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. She'll see like revenge or anything. No, no. This is very calm, very healthy, very healing. And so, yeah, this is all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all the love. My group 2, welcome. And so let's see, what's the overall energy of the relationship you have with your mother. From what I see here, it is mostly based on communication, but it's not like soft and kind communication. Actually, it's pretty the opposite. It is harsh words being pointed at each other, being thrown at each other. It's like arguments, maybe even, yes, but it's more like you're just projecting on each other without even noticing. So she might do things that are wrong to you or that you didn't want her to do for you, and you do the same thing for her. So this is like, imagine you have this idea of what should a mother be, what should she do and be and say, and she has the same idea about a daughter or a son. And so what is happening here, I do believe that you are basically projecting what you feel like you're not getting from each other onto each other. So the communication is very harsh, very, it could be even raw in a way. It's almost like you can't help it. It's like you go talk to her, or she comes talk to you, but then everything ends up in an argument, in shooting something at each other, and kind of like hurting each other in a way, or at least making someone mad or frustrated, or and then you go home, you go back home, or you hung up the phone kind of like angry or sad, disappointed. What it seems here, it seems like you can't even have a conversation with each other, proper conversation. It's almost like this could be solved if you two sat down and talked about this and said, for an example, I don't like when you do this, and I would like if you do this, and she would do the same for you, and you two would agree on some things, but maybe there is not even emotional maturity enough to do that. And so you guys just argue and argue and argue and hurt each other. Now, what kind of mother did you have? So, what's the perception you had of your mother when you were a kid? From what I see here, first of all, it was someone, your mother was probably very quiet or more into her own world, into her own mind. It's like she had lots and lots of thoughts in her head. So she wouldn't pay too much attention to you, or maybe she lacked some, like she didn't notice some things that were happening to you that it was important for her to notice. But she also cared for you a lot. So she would take care of you, yes, of course, and she would try to be her best, do her best, and be very present, especially emotionally wise. But it was not enough because she didn't understand that while she was on her own world and maybe with her own problems, and maybe she would even isolate herself sometimes when you needed her or when you wanted to be with her. This affected you. And to be very, very fair, I do believe that she was probably very busy with what she had to do at home, for an example. Or imagine if she worked as well. Like she was very busy, and because of that, she had many problems that you probably didn't even know she had because she kept it to herself. And so she would be, even if she was present, like physically, imagine she was doing something, but you were in the same room, she would not being able to pay attention to you properly because either she was doing other things that she had to do. It's like she was almost overworked or overloaded with work. Um, Even if it's simply taking care of the house, because that's already enough, like that's too much even for one person to do, especially when you have kids. And so she was very focused on her own things and her own worries and concerns that maybe you didn't even know she had. It was very in her head, in her mind, and she didn't properly like express her worries to anyone, to be really fair. So but she cared for you. She did her best in that moment with the consciousness that she had, and if because the thing is, I'm pretty sure that if someone stopped her and said, "Look, I do understand that you have lots of things in your mind right now, but your kid needs some attention or needs someone to talk to or to help with her emotions or dealing with some problems," I'm pretty sure that your mom would go and help you. I just believe that she was so lost in her own thoughts that she didn't even notice what you needed. She thought she was giving you all that you needed, basically. But she really cared for you. And so let's now see what's your inner child's energy when you're around your mother. From what I see here, although you feel like she's reliable or she's someone that you can rely on and look for if you need practical support or anything that comes to do with the practical daily basis, and she will always be there for you, and everything that has to do with routine and grounding. And she's also very loyal to you. That's how your inner child feels when they are around your mother. There's this sense of, I trust you. um, but at the same time, what happens here is maybe because your mother couldn't pay too much attention sorry, to your emotional side and your emotional needs, because she was so focused on her own mind and her own worries and concerns. What happens now is that your inner child has this tendency of feeling like they have to hide some sides of them. They have to kind of like kind of like control how you act, what you say, who you are when you're around them. It's like your inner child believes that they're not allowed to show who they are truly around your mother. Like there's a part of you that will not show, especially if it's an emotional, maybe affection or things that are related to that care, like showing really that this your inner child has a very difficult time doing that. So it's almost like even if they can rely on your mother, even if you can rely on your mother right now, it is not emotionally wise. And so there is this need of guarding yourself, even when you're around your mother, about your vulnerable side. Yeah. You will probably not show her your own emotions. And even if it's happiness or sadness, I do believe that you became very emotional independent, and that was a problem here. And so even if you trust her, you don't trust her enough, or you don't feel comfortable and safe enough around her to express your own emotions. And so there is this detachment, like emotional detachment that you have from her. It's almost like a wall. So it's like we play our role as a daughter or son and as a mother, and we can rely on each other if we need something in the practical way. But emotionally, we are not there for each other. And that's why you argue so much, or that's why you sometimes throw at each other harsh words, because instead of actually being mature enough to sit down and open up about how you feel, you decide to you I'm talking about you too, I'm not talking about you specifically. You decide to choose frustration instead, or discontentment, and you express it through a harsh communication. And that's the biggest problem here. It's the difficulty to be vulnerable with each other. Or maybe you have this difficulty she might feel like comfortable with you to express herself and her emotions right now, but you are not with her. And listen, you are there's nothing wrong with you, because from how you grown up and the relationship you had with her, this is so justifiable. This is so reasonable. The way that you feel that you're not comfortable enough, that's totally fine, because there was never created a safe space for you to actually express your vulnerability and emotions. So it is completely normal that you feel this way towards her right now. And so, how is this affecting your life now? There's this problem with you, maybe one, you are way too focused on your material world. And what I mean by this, maybe you value too much the material realm. Maybe you're even looking for unconscious approval of your mother through the material realm, because that's the only thing that your bound was created on, basically. I think that's the only way you could try to like make your mother proud in a way. Or maybe that's simply what you've captured when you were younger. Like, the material world is what matters, the daily basis. This could be also affecting your opportunities, like financial opportunities, career opportunities. Maybe you don't even know exactly what do you want to work with. It has to do with your own value. If you don't believe that you're worthy enough for something, like I'm saying unconsciously, you will have a hard time getting it. You will find that you're almost like swimming against the tide or something like that. I see that you're very, very still stuck on the past related to this, related to your mother, related to the relationship you have with her. And there's a need for maturity here. There's a need to create your own structure, not necessarily depend on her in a material way. It's time for you to focus on yourself, on your own path, and leave the past behind. Understand that this relationship happened for a reason, and it is teaching you something. It is not to make you suffer, or and I already told you this could be solved by you two sitting down and talking to each other, like being vulnerable enough to say, look, this hurt me, and I don't like this about you, or I don't like this about what you do to me, or what you say to me. Please don't do it again. And you two coming into an agreement, and this would be solved, this problem, you know? But if you're not comfortable enough with this, then maybe you should try to keep some distance from her and stop giving this relationship so much importance in your life right now, because it's time for you to focus on yourself and on your own career. And my advice is to find something that you love to do and go do it, even if it doesn't match or it doesn't reach the expectations that your mother might have about what you would work with. I do believe that you might need to redo or re-evaluate your own value and your concept of self-value and self-worth. I think that's what it's asking of you right now, because this might be impacting your life literally. And so please understand that your own value comes way deeper. And I do believe that, especially in your case, your value comes a lot from your emotions, and especially if you're very emotional sensitive and very connected with your own emotions. It is very important that you listen to them, because sometimes our emotions are exactly one of our many, many talents or opportunities to transform it into talents, into art, into beautiful things. and managing life in a completely different way that is way more adaptable to you and to who you are. This is about who are you, not about who is the daughter or the son of your mother. Okay? So it's very important that you do this distinction and find yourself and your own value. Understand that you have way much more to give than simply the material world or the material accomplishments. The obstacle for a healthy relationship with your mother here, or for the healing to start, is basically what I see. It might be miscommunication a lot, I do believe. Of course, that's the main problem we have here. Because the thing is, even if you're open to change your behavior towards her and to open yourself with her and tell her how you feel and what you like and what you don't like, it doesn't mean that she's prepared for that. And so you might like try to create a healthy relationship with her right now, but she might not be ready, not even mature enough, or even consciously aware of what she needs to heal and what's the real problem is. And so it might not work this. So maybe the right thing to do here really is, if you really believe that if you talk to her she will not listen to you, or if you're not comfortable to talk to her about how you feel towards her and towards the relationship, maybe it's time for you to move on and focus way more on yourself, and try to not get into try to not be too like attached to this toxic interaction that you two have with each other. If you need to distance yourself, if you need to stop talking to her as much as you do right now, then do it, okay? The thing is, she has lots of limiting beliefs as well, like everyone does, right? And especially people that are not even aware of this, they're not open enough for this. It might be hard for her to understand that some things that she believes in are limiting beliefs, and how can she let go of it completely, because she's very dependent on it. And what I see here also is that people around her um also have the same mindset, or it's almost like it is very hard for her to actually think in a different way, or be able to truly transform enough to allow herself to have this healthy relationship with you, because she doesn't even understand what's the problem is, to be really fair. This is almost like not a love hate relationship, because there's no hate here. It's just very, there's lots of arguments. It's like, because imagine, lack can be shown or can be expressed through sadness, through, and then frustration, and then anger. There, these are like the main levels of it. And so when sadness is not allowed to be expressed, it goes to frustration. And if frustration is not loud enough to be expressed, then it will go to anger. And that's where you are, you two. Frustration or anger. These lines here, but they are simply showing you that you two just need something from each other, and you're not able to talk about it properly in a mature way. And so, how can you heal this wound? From what I see here, yeah, I do believe that this is the path for you. Don't try to don't try to change your mother, or force her, or tell her she should be something different. I think you should accept the fact that she is the way she is, and she lacked in things that she did, and there is nothing that could change that. And now it's time for you to create that structure that she was not able to give you. And so You create this structure about who are you, where you stand at, what do you want for yourself and for your own life. It's time to close this chapter, this that is stuck on the past. This is a past thing. It's not for you anymore. It's time for you to move on from this relationship because it's toxic, you know? It might be even tiring for you. And understand that there are other possibilities out there and you have other ways to go. And it's time for you to look out for yourself and focus on what you want to do in your life, who you want to be, and work for that. But definitely, this type of communication needs to end. It is way better if you don't talk at all with each other rather than talking and have this miscommunication and just spitting harsh words at each other. The lesson to be learned here is exactly that there was a lesson to be learned from here. So instead of blaming each other, it is very important that you see that, first of all, you two are in a karmic relationship. Okay. So it was very, very chosen because this relationship is here to show each other that there are limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. They are not aligned with who you truly are. And so your mother just came here to kind of like trigger those beliefs. And that's why you have these reactions and emotional reactions towards her. And that's exactly why she has those reactions towards you as well. But now you have this knowledge and you're able to actually succeed with this in a way that it's like you move on from this, you heal these limiting beliefs, you understand that there's no logic behind it, and there's no need for you to feel hurt and pain anymore because you have a higher level of consciousness and understanding now. You understand that she's not a monster. She was never a monster. She has her own problems and just like you, and she has a level of consciousness that most likely is not the same as yours. And this doesn't mean that you should allow her to speak the way she wants to speak to you or allow her to be someone in your life that comes bring you headaches or this lower energy of arguing. But it doesn't mean that you need to blame on her or you need to cling onto a bad feeling towards her. You could be simply neutral. You could feel neutral towards her, like grateful that she did what she could do for you, and at the same time have this neutral way of feeling towards her or of thinking of her. Like, I do understand why we were together and I got my lesson, and now I will move on and focus on my own life and create my own family and do my best as well. This was no loss for you. This relationship had so much to give you and to for you to learn from. And that's why this should be a victory to you. This should be how you see it, as a victory, because it is. And now you're able to, because you have like almost the whole formula. It's like you know what beliefs are behind it. You know what beliefs are limiting you. You know it's probably and most likely related to your self-worth. So you know what you have to work on with, and now you're finally able to move on from this and to become the better version of yourself, a better person that is able to do lots of different things and evolve and help others. And so, as your final message from the divine, what we have here is don't allow yourself, because now you have this consciousness, so don't allow yourself to step into a state where you pretend like you don't know about all of this and try to blame her for the things that she doesn't do or she didn't do or she did. that hurt you or that she said that hurt you. And it's time for you to heal, okay? And healing doesn't necessarily mean that she will also heal and that this relationship will heal itself. No, it's about you. From now on, it's about you. It's about your life. It's about who you are, who you want to become, and what's valuable for you, what's important for you, what you want to give the world and the people around you. And so, my group 2, this is all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Hi, welcome. And so let's see, how is your mother wound and how was the relationship between your mothers? Let's start with that, okay? What's the energy that represents the relationship that you have with your mother? First of all, I see that your relationship used to be very open and comforting and loving in a way as well, yes, but very supporting. You were very supportive of each other, and I think you were not only like mother and son or mother and daughter, I think you were quite like friends as well. But there was this very like very connected, very open, very trusting, but something happened here that we will talk in a second. And this made the relationship take a step back. So not the relationship in itself, but you took a step back and kept some distance from her. And this caused the relationship to suddenly become a bit colder, a bit more distant. I think it's because you probably trust your mother with something. Either it might be a secret, might be something that you ask her to do, anything really. But she kind of like betrayed you, not because she wanted to. I don't think that she has any kind of bad intentions towards you, no. But I think what happened here is that you trust you trusted that maybe she wouldn't do something, and she actually did it. And for an example, you told her something about you that you thought that she would keep a secret. You don't even needed to say, oh, please don't tell anyone, because you trusted her and you thought that she would keep that for herself, that she wouldn't go around and tell people. But then later you find out she actually told someone else. And so the trust that you two had suddenly broke. Suddenly you feel like you can't trust her anymore. You can't be yourself completely with her. You can tell her about everything that you want to do, that you want to share with her. You can't just share every single detail of your life and whatever happens in your daily life with her just as much as you used to. Like, this broke your heart in a way because you were very close and it was very shocking to you. Suddenly you feel the need to retreat, you feel the need to take a step back from her. You thought like, I thought I knew my mother, I thought she would never do this to me. It's almost like you're kind of like disappointed and feel betrayed, and so you feel the need to be a bit more closed off towards her. Maybe you don't speak about certain topics anymore, maybe you try to avoid talking to her, or even the way that you communicate with her might be a bit more cold than usual. You're not as open as you used to be. And she feels this difference, but she might not know what happened. She might be a bit confused. But that's the overall energy of your relationship, from what I understand here. Now, I want to see, what kind of mother did you perceive to have when you were a kid? From what I see here, there was this, she was for you this mother that, first of all, she would lead most of the things. So she would take care of you, and she would probably take care of the house as well. And she would be almost like the leader in that sense. So she would decide what should be done, what shouldn't be done, when to do something, when to go to this place. She was very kind of like in a role, she took a role of leadership in your life, in your childhood. But there was also, it's not something cold. It's not like an authoritative figure that you're almost like scared of in a way. No, I think it was very like you trusted her so much because she was in control of everything and she seemed very grounded in that way. And she was very like she was very good in solve problems that might appear out of nowhere or give you solutions to things that happen to you, something very quick, something very like a sharp mind. That's the feeling that I'm getting. So if you had a problem, instead of like panicking or you didn't feel that energy from her, like maybe you were panicking about something. Imagine, oh, I forgot to do this for school or something like that, and you were very like in a panicky, stressful state, but she would be like, okay, calm down, let's solve this, we can do this, this and this. And that's the vibe that I'm getting. So you were very much like you allowed yourself to open up to her a lot when you were a kid. You depended on her a lot in that sense, not in a toxic way, no, but you trusted her so much and her way of solving things and her way of taking care of others in the house and how things work, that your relationship, like you had a great bond. The bond was created and it was very healthy and it was very um loving in a way as well. Yes, because she was, although she had this kind of like more masculine in a way role or energy to solve things and to take care of everything, she also had this other side of her where she would nourish you a lot and make sure that you have everything that you need and that your needs are heard, and that, imagine your, especially your emotional side as well. If you felt frustrated, angry, sad, she would go and talk to you and help you. And um, it's almost like this comforting, safe place that you felt with her while growing up. And so, how does your inner child feels around them now in the present moment? Yeah, so because of what happened between you two and the fact that you took some distance from her in a way, or you closed off, you became a bit more cold. There's this, how can I say? So, from what I see here is like you think and feel a certain way towards her, and your inner child feels and thinks a different way. Your inner child feels almost like you are holding your inner child back from expressing themselves and being who they truly are and always were around them, around your mother. It's almost like your inner child, first of all, your inner child understands that this this situation that happened is very correlated to other lives. So this pattern has happened before, this pattern is happening right now in a parallel lives. So it is something that is being repetitive in a way. Why? Because there's something to learn from here. And your inner child actually, even though your mind right now thinks like, I can't open up myself to her and I can't trust her. You went this way, and your inner child is going a different way. Your inner child is thinking, like, wait, okay, she hurt us. Yes. She did something that we did not expect from her. Yes. She did something that for us it's very bad and we would not like that to repeat itself. Yes. Okay. But does that mean that we have to close off from her completely? Does that mean that we have to keep our distance? Does that mean that we can trust her? No. Your inner child is telling you, look, sometimes people make things towards us that they don't know they are doing. They don't know how much it hurts, and they don't know they are surpassing a limit. And that's the thing. That's what you need to understand here. Your inner child is telling you, like, look, sometimes something that is very important for you and it was not negotiable in a way could be negotiable for another person. For an example, I know someone that hates lies. Like, it's almost the worst thing someone could do to them is lie. And I also know another person that, depending on the lie and depending who is lying and why they are lying, it is kind of like acceptable, or they could forgive that person. And so there's this difference in how people act, and your inner child is asking you to understand that maybe your mother didn't know how important that was for you, for her to keep the secret, or for her to not do something that she did and that hurt you. And so the inner child is telling you, look, this can be solved. We can go back to who we are around her. It is not that she made this on purpose, or this situation tells way more about your limiting beliefs than about her and who she is to you. And so your inner child is saying, like, it's asking you, please find a way to solve this problem. Go talk to her. This is solved through communication. This will be solved through you talking to her and saying, look, I have been distant because you've made this and this, and I was not expecting, and it really did hurt me because it's a boundary of mine, and I cannot admit people that stay in my life and do that to me. And once you tell her, you will see even in her face how much she will regret doing it because she didn't know the impact that had on you. And if she had knew that before, she would never do that to you, because she loves you very, very much and she cares for this relationship a lot. She had no bad intention. She simply didn't know what were your boundaries, because maybe to her this would not be a problem, you know, if someone did this to her. So it is very important that there is a conversation happening here and you make it very clear what hurt you, and what, if she wants to keep having a healthy relationship with you, she cannot do. Because people cannot guess what are our wounds and our triggers, you know? So don't blame her. And so what I see here, that how is this situation affecting your life right now? Look, you are walking away from her, you are keeping your distance from her, but this is not being made in a light way. You feel heavy. You feel like you're carrying something, a burden, or more like guilt. Or I think because you might blame her for what she did, and you might, how can I say this? You certainly see her as the bad guy and has someone that has no values or that would betray you again, and you exaggerated a bit your own emotions because that's a very profound wound to you. But you have to understand, it is not about her. It is simply something that it's you, that you attracted to your life. You accepted to experience it because you needed to remember yourself, to remind yourself you have a limiting belief that is being very well expressed in that kind of situation. It is not actually related to her in a way. It's way more about you. And so even though you're walking away from her and you're in this state of like, yeah, I can trust her, I have to keep my distance, it's like almost like suddenly you see her in a different light but more negative. And this is a process that you used in a wrong way. That was not the purpose of this situation, okay? That's what I mean. And so now you're carrying this burden because you can't stop thinking about it. Even if you want to move on from this, even if you want to act like I can't trust her anymore, so I'm gonna do it my way and keep my distance from her, you are still very much stuck to this situation because there is this wound that is still needs healing, still needs you to look at it with love and take care of it. It will not heal by itself, and it will definitely not heal by being in a state of blaming others and being almost like prideful. Okay. And so, what's the obstacle for the healing to, in this case, is more for you two to be go back to being who you were and solve this problem? Yes, it has to do with communication, as I said before. This problem will be solved once you've understand that you are probably now an adult, and so is she. She is an adult as well. And you two can have a conversation, can sit with each other. You need to be a bit mature in that way, like emotionally mature, okay? I'm not judging or anything like that. I totally understand your reaction. It is very hard sometimes because the wound is so alive in a way inside of us, and it's hard to put that away, to put our ego aside and actually take action towards a more thoughtful and healing way. And so the communication here needs to go from being very intense and you feeling this wound very alive inside yourself, as I said before, and turning it into a more receptive state. So you need to be in a bit more calm, peaceful, understanding, and receptive to the other person. It's very important that one, you express yourself to the other person, you tell them your limits because people cannot guess those kinds of things. And second, it is also very, very important that you are receptive to whatever they have to say to you because she will most likely apologize, really. She just wants to have a great relationship with you and she doesn't want to harm you. She doesn't want to cause you any kind of harm. So please be a bit more aware of this and open to this conversation because you too deserve to keep the interaction you had once before and maybe depend a bit more on her, you know? And now, how can you heal this wound? From what I understand here, it's you need a new vision, a new way of seeing things. That's what I've been saying. You need to open yourself, like really sit with yourself, open yourself, your mind, your heart. I know you want to solve this. I know you want to stop feeling this heavy weight that you're carrying about this. I know you want to stop feeling this almost like you're holding on to the situation in a way that is harming you, that it's not allowing you to feel peaceful. And so, if you want peace, if you want to solve this problem, you can do it. You just need to open yourself to this new perspective. Understand that maybe people sometimes hurt us because we do not share with them that that thing would hurt us and they don't know they are doing it. And so, when do you know that? When do you know if this person is really for you or if they are a traitor or they will betray you or anything like that? When you tell them your limits and then allow them to show you if they will respect it or not. It's not about they having to guess what would be the best for you and what would hurt you. It's about they knowing what can hurt you and what cannot, and they will choose then to do something that will or will not hurt you. And then you know who this person truly is and the meaning they have in your life, the rule they have in your life. And so, if you want to really heal this, please open yourself to this new perspective, understand how energy works, understand that this was simply a challenge that you have to deal because of your own journey. It's your own journey, it's your own limiting belief, it's our own belief system, and you will deal with this. Yes, I don't think, if you don't resist to this change, to this conversation, things will be solved more easily than you think. And so, what's the lesson to be learned from this situation? As I said, one, you understand that the only cure for overthinking and suffering in silence and not being able to stop the flow of thoughts that are kind of like negative and they're nagging you, it's by talking. If there's a person involved, it's by talking to them. It's by expressing yourself. It's by clearing things. You need clarity. Yes. That's what I see here. That's the lesson you need to understand, is that things will be solved once you talk to them, once you express yourself in a calm way, respectful way, very healthy, very mature, because I know you have that inside of you. This is simply because it's very fresh and it hurts you so much that makes you sometimes impulsively act in a more immature way. But that's not who you are, you know? So I also learned that this is simply you projecting on her, not in a conscious way, not in a mean way, but more in like, because you had this belief, limiting belief about yourself. It is not aligned with who you truly are, and you needed some kind of situation or experience that would show you that belief, that would remind you that you have that belief, so you can heal it, you can stop holding on to it. And you needed that situation. So in that sense, she is simply a character, kind of like acting and agreeing to act in this situation, be this character that will remind you of your pain, of your wound, so you can go then and heal it. That's the thing, okay? So this is an opportunity also. Yeah, this is very strong because, as I said, this has been happening in many different lives, this situation. And now it's almost like they are telling you, look, this situation right now is the right opportunity for you to finally do things right, for you to finally speak to other people, to literally use your voice to tell others what can hurt you and what cannot hurt you, what is very important that they don't do because it will hurt you, it will disappoint you. So it's an opportunity for you to speak. So take it as such and allow yourself to actually do this, to heal, to have this conversation, because you deserve it. And as a final advice here, divine advice, it's literally what we've been saying. Stop resisting this new perspective and this understanding that through a conversation, this person is not the bad guy. This person, your mother, is not a bad person, and they don't want to harm you in any kind of way. They did it because they didn't know better. And so stop resisting to the idea of having this conversation, of sitting with her and allowing this healing to happen. That's how healthy relationships works. That's how a healthy communication works. You talk to that person, you made very clear what hurts you, what doesn't, and the other person does the same with you. And so now you know what you can not do, and they know what they cannot do. And so then there's no hurting each other again. And also allow this conciliation to happen. Don't be prideful, and don't allow your pain to speak louder than your own truth and your own intuition, because you deep down you know this can be solved, and deep down you know that she did not do this on purpose to hurt you. And so this is all I got for you, my group 3. Thank you so much for watching. and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.